Hello and welcome back to the FPL Tom preview stream. A very tight turnaround from Game Week 30 into Game Week 31. And you know what? I think I kind of enjoy it. Getting to speak to you twice in pretty much, a week. Less than a week.
Yeah, because we don't talk otherwise.
No. We just do this show. We don't really speak to each other after that. And then that's about it, really. How have you spent your long weekend anyway, mate?
Doing the last couple of shifts for my brother in the cafe that I've been working in for a couple of years, and now recovering from a hangover of the last night's leaving do. As I move into a new little stage in my life. So yeah, that's actually quite a big weekend for me. But yeah, no, I've only in the past couple of hours have I actually come round to be presentable.
Well, that's what I like to hear. It's froze on you as well in a really awkward face there as well. It fully had you in like a drip face. So, but yeah, it's good. In terms of
To be
FPL,
fair, it may not even frozen.
yeah. In terms of FPL, good weekend.
Yeah, very good weekend overall. Very respectful considering I took a -8 in the end. Um, yeah, I don't really feel like I'm very good at giving my advice for this. The whole process of this kind of stream that we do is so we can give advice of what we've decided to do. I guess you're also guilty of it as well. But we're both like, oh yeah, we're going to do this week and stuff. And then when we come back the following week, we're like, oh no, we actually did this, and this after we told you what we were doing.
Yeah.
So,
It's all part of a
I had
scam. We don't want people copying us. No.
You get them to do something and then they leave their team. Meanwhile, we're just like changing it about straight quickly afterwards.
Exactly.
I just realised I need to get my challenge team sorted tonight.
You do indeed. That's an important shout for everyone as well that is participating in the challenge stream. We actually had a league set up for that as well.
Did you have Ollie McBurney?
No, I wish I put Ollie McBurney in. I said it last week in the stream,
What was
didn't
it
I?
you took a picture of then?
It was the team of the week. It's the guy that won the holiday or whatever.
Right.
Had Ollie McBurney in. He had like Ben Brereton Diaz in as well.
Jesus Christ.
It's what's influenced my team this week is I am just going to chuck as many random players in and hope for the best. That
Yeah,
seems
as
the
many
better way to
players
do it.
that are random have decent fixtures.
Well, not even decent fixtures. I've gone DCL this week.
Oh God, he hasn't scored in 22.
Exactly. This is exactly the thinking that has to go on for these challenge wins. You got to think outside the box. You got to think Newcastle haven't got any defenders left. Everton haven't won in 12 Premier League games. Everyone's buying Isak.
This weekend in the challenge, just a bit of a tangent.
I think I got like 64. I think I might have beat you by 1 point.
Yeah, fair enough. I got 63. Ah, benched Gibbs White, gutted.
At least you didn't bench him in your real team, though.
Yeah, true. I also captained Son for some reason in this challenge and not Palmer.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the fantasy challenge kind of was sacrificed for my actual real fantasy team.
Well, let's have. I'm just going to give a shout out, and I think I'll do this every week. Luke Fergus with Fergie Time ended up winning the FPL Tom Soggy Biscuit League.
It was quite tight, wasn't it?
69 points he got in the end. Main players really: Salah, Son, Palmer captain, Anthony Gordon, and Muniz. Everyone else kind of stunk it up a little bit, but not bad.
Yeah, I think it's the only way to start off the Soggy Biscuit League by getting 69 points to win it.
Exactly. It just seems very fitting, doesn't it? The first winner gets 69. So, I don't think there's a better number that kind of epitomizes the Soggy Biscuit Club, really.
Not in the slightest.
No.
This has been one hell of an introduction, by the way.
It has. I thought what we do is just more casual introductions, you know what I mean? Get it just flowing. So people that do join, they feel the vibe and go, oh, let's click off of this. It's a bit shit. What are you trying to do anyway over there?
I've just gone off on a tangent because I've just seen how the Blind's got fucking loads of mold on it. I need to get on to that later. Sorry.
Oh, well.
We really are. I'm really falling down the barrel here. Maybe I'm not as presentable as I thought I was.
No, you're just monging out looking at the blind going, there's bit of mould on here, lads. Right, let's move on before Jake has an aneurysm. We're going to start off with, of course, our most illustrious award. It is Bed Shitter of the Week. Now, overall, I think a lot of people's picks went quite well this week, especially in terms of my wildcard. There was a lot of strong players that did deliver. Captaincy didn't seem to be an issue because whichever way you went, it really paid off. Palmer, Son, and Salah all returning quite, fruitfully, if you like, in terms of points. But there were a few standout players for me for Bed Shitter of the Week. There's two on screen. Jake, who are you going to nominate as your Bed Shitter for Game Week 30?
I can't actually see who you've got on your screen, so I'm just going to have to go blind. And I'm just going to say, not someone that I've got in my team, but I assume he's someone that is an ever-present in everyone's team, and I'd probably have to go for Haaland. I think he's a pretty... he's a pretty decent one to go for the fact that as much as that game was dead and stuff, I know he was at the forefront of some flack from some of the pundits, etc. I like drawing in after the game, saying that he's not really got anything else other than being able to finish in the box, or like finish. Just he can finish. He's world class at that, but his movement and all round build up play is not there. And so he relies on his team to find him and stuff to make the chances for him to finish off. And of course, in a cagey game like Sunday, he was non-existent. And then the one chance he probably should have at least got some kind of contact on, he completely spooned it and miskicked it. When the normal Haaland you'd expect would have done something better there. Now, don't get me wrong, I haven't brought him back because I thought it'd be a bit of a cagey game, and I was right. I actually got 0-0 on Super 6.
Well done.
But that is beside the point because end of the day, you've got Haaland. He's supposed to be the best striker in the world at the moment. And it just feels like I just don't think he really needed to be there. He was irrelevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair argument. Still, a lot of people did have him. I think maybe with most people expecting quite a cagey affair. A lot of people not captaining him either. So, yeah, I think it's a fair argument. But I think there's probably the two on screen are probably a little bit more appropriate, I'd say, for Bed Shitter of the Week. On the left is Lascelles. Now, he was quite a popular pick on the wild card if you went for the Game Week 30 wild card. 3.9 million defender, good fixtures coming up, lasted 16 minutes and has now done his ACL and will be out for 6 to 9 months. Bit of a problem, bit of a pain in the arse. And then the other man is Ollie Watkins. A lot of people that weren't on the wild card this week were banking on Ollie Watkins to do extremely well. A lot of people went against Watkins this week as well. I think he was still around 50% owned, and then he only managed half a game. And now it looks like he might miss Game Week 31, but it does give people a nice easy sell to Haaland. I feel if maybe Haaland had gone off, I think, holding Watkins could have been a little bit more disastrous for people. But it is what it is. So I think I'm going to go for Lascelles because for me personally, he shafted me up the arse with this 3.9 million. Now I don't have I'm going to just have an empty defender playing spot until Game Week 37 because of this long-term injury. So I'm going to go for Lascelles, but I think Haaland's a very good shout as well, to be honest, mate. Let me just spell his name correctly.
Why?
Go on.
What percentage of people have Lascelles?
3.3.
So is that more of a personal vendetta?
Maybe. I mean, if
I get it, he couldn't have shafted you anymore, doing his ACL and been out for 9 months. But yeah, it's one of those really where that's the most brutal of bed shits you could actually ever do. I guess it depends on if people see it from that point of view or if it's just quality and numbers. Because I assume a lot of people would have just had Haaland and would have wanted him to do something.
Yeah, I guess.
It's two different sides to it, to be honest. But I mean, for the core definition of shitting the bed, there's only one real answer there.
I think Lascelles is he's the bigger one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, let's move on then. Let's take a look at your points for game week 30. Again, Jake, another green arrow starting to creep into the top 2 million. You did take a -8 this week, but you know what? I think it's paid off.
Yeah, it's not done too badly, to be fair. I'm just having a quick look to see how many points Morris got this week. As long as
2.
he got no more than, yeah, he got 2. So at least like that minus last minute -4 I took to bring Muniz in for Morris meant nothing.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad player to have in the form that he's in at the moment. So at least that meant that I didn't lose out anything. I might as well have taken a -4 there and just had Morris. Um, but yeah, my two other players are brought in, Cole Palmer and Mo Salah. I went for the right captain. Probably have to give you some credit there for Cole Palmer. I think we looked at it together, like the statistics and how well he'd done against Burnley before. But to begin with, I think I was more tempted by Son. Whatever happened in our preview stream last week, ended up going for Palmer. That's paid off really nicely. And then yeah, like we were saying, like it just depended on how Salah did, because I feel like Salah and Palmer ended up being the top 2 captain players. Pardon me. And of course, to be honest, I think Palmer was just 10 times more efficient, because I don't know how many chances Palmer had other than his 2 goals, whereas Salah broke the Premier League record of his own, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, he did. Most shots in a Premier League game from a single player for Mo Salah. Potentially
Is
should
that
have.
most shots for himself or most shots for any player?
I think it's any player.
Yeah, it was like 12, was it?
It was
12?
12, yeah, which is ridiculous for him only to come away with 1 goal. Controversially, that goal was ruled out as well. Like, it was very, very tight. You know what I mean?
Oh, the Diaz one.
The Diaz one. On another day, VAR's dodgy lines, it's one way or the other, isn't it,
Yeah,
really?
that's true. I don't know. I'm not too fussed by that one, because at least it wasn't clear. It wasn't like the Spurs offside for
Yeah,
Diaz.
yeah,
Like, it wasn't clear daylight. I can allow that because everyone has that happen. And fortunately, we still won the game,
yeah.
so it didn't have impact on it. But yeah, Salah just had a bit of a stinker and yet came away with the winning goal. And then yeah, I think there's not too much to write home about. Gibbs White's just very quietly in the background, just plodding along with a couple of assists in the past few games.
Yeah.
So I'm quietly impressed with Gibbs White, I must say. And then yeah, I think the rest of the team, not too much to say. Just happy to see how it goes in the next few weeks. Be nice to see that Fofana's now back from his ineligibility, because he was playing his parent club. Because as we'll see, like coming on to the team, like Burnley have got a nice run of games coming up, which I feel like I've just got to back them. Like we were talking about, even Sheffield United, who seem like they're a lost cause, they're at least going to have those random games where they're going to score goals, even if they don't get the 3 points.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's nice to know. And then yeah, I think I'm just set up nicely. I was set up a lot more worryingly when I realised I didn't have a wild card last week.
Yeah.
I've rushed into a -8, or like not rushed in, but gone into panic mode, done a -8, and it's paid off.
Big time.
So yeah, I do think my team does look a lot more settled. There's still a lot of area to improve on, or to change, or to at least like look over. But on the whole, I'm fairly satisfied with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think I would be, to be honest, because I remember last preview stream we were looking at this team and going, oh god, and like I was like, there's no wild card, there's no kind of get out of jail free card here. You are gonna have to take a minus to fix this. Thankfully, though, the captaincy decision, which I'm gonna take some credit for, I talked you into that. The Palmer decision worked.
By all means, mate. By all means,
it's made the minus viable, and I think, in some aspects, you're super unlucky not to come away with more points, to be honest. Son hitting both posts with 1 shot, probably should have got another goal.
Yeah.
Salah, we've spoke about him. Muniz hit the post twice as well.
Did he?
Yeah. He obviously scored the wonder goal at the end, but if he puts those other 2 in, you know what I mean? You're coming away with a big rank increase, and definitely,
Hey, even Lewis Dunk forced a save from Callagher. That
Funny.
nearly paid off quite nicely. Although to be fair, I didn't actually have Dunk in my team. I had Longley in my team. He just didn't play.
Ah, swings and
Yeah,
roundabouts.
I think defense is somewhere to definitely mull over the next few weeks.
Mm.
Of course, with the free hit coming up in the next couple of game weeks' time, I don't know how crucial it is for me to like panic into minusing and stuff. I think we can just take it one step at a time a little bit more. Now that I've done that -8, like I said, I think I can be a little bit more steady with how desperately I need to change my team and have like a big overhaul.
Well, let's take a look at how the team is lining up for this week. This is how I've put it. Let me know if that's like 100% how you would probably have it. I've gone with Salah captain, Neto in goal, Doherty, Richards and Dunk at the back, but Doherty's flagged so might not play. Gibbs, White, Foden, Salah, Palmer and Son in midfield, and then Muniz and Haaland up top.
Yep, yep. I mean, I've just looked at it. I've actually got Longley instead of Doherty, but like, I don't think it really matters there.
No.
I think if I were to get desperate or like go for it or like be a bit rogue and like bring in some kind of defender and take an extra minus, I don't know. But of course, it would be just to take that place of either the doubtful Doherty or
Nice.
Longley, who of course is away to City. You what?
I like that. The doubtful Doherty. It's good. It's good, that.
But yeah, so yeah, I think, like I said, the defense is definitely the area where I'd like to improve. I'm quite happy with my midfield. I don't think Palmer, Son, and Salah will leave my team. I don't think, I don't think more than one of them will leave my team until the end of the season. I think at least two of them are staying in for the long run, and don't know who. I just mean that's the likelihood of keeping those three players throughout the rest of the season's finale.
Hmm.
Foden also, I don't know if I'd take him out unless there's a massive change in his play time. And then Gibbs White, Forest have a nice run of games. He's doing what he needs to, so I might as well back him until he actually gives me a reason to doubt him.
Okay.
And then I think the same can be said about Muniz. I'm actually just looking at what I've done on here.
Yeah.
If I get Haaland, I actually quite. So here's some food for thought. So I think I would play Fofana over Muniz.
Really?
Yeah, but I would want to play Muniz as well. So at that point, I may.
Do you reckon you could go without Haaland again, though? Like, I'm just thinking about it here. Like, he's not been great. They've got Villa next, right?
Muniz and Fofana aren't like terrible options,
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. So leave Watkins on the bench, right?
and then just bank the transfer. You
Bank the
mean?
transfer or bring a defender in, which is what you need more.
It's not a bad idea.
Because you're going to free hit
I
in
have, I
34,
haven't
right?
I haven't gone through the Haaland thing. It was what I planned to
Ooh.
do.
Palace and Luton next, though. But you could do it next week.
Yeah, exactly. Like for the weekend, yeah, I could bring Haaland in.
Hmm. Well, I'm just looking at it. Maybe somebody like a Wolves defender. They've got Burnley, West Ham, Nottingham Forest. Then the double, but you're free hitting. Then Luton, City, and Palace. Some pretty tasty fixtures in there.
That's not bad. That is not bad. The only thing I'd say about that one is it does go against my Fofana. I
Okay.
think he'd be a I think he'd be a good option to bring in the long run. Maybe like after this game week. Maybe if I had to do another defender this week, for say, for example, Longley or Senesi, and then bring a Wolves defender in at the weekend for potentially a -4 with Haaland. Um, but I don't think I'd want to go too much against it because especially if I'm playing Muniz and Gibbs White,
Yeah.
of course that can work out for you. It's not quite as bad as playing an attacker and a defender against each other. But I don't. I prefer to bank put all my eggs in one team's basket rather than be guaranteed that one of them will fail. If that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Wait till we get onto my team. Oh dear.
Oh God, have you got a lot of?
No, 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 no. Maybe, maybe. We'll come to see. We'll come to see.
Yeah, no, just having a look at there's not too. There are not too many clear daylight options, really, are there? Like, especially if I were to just look at this immediate game week
Mm.
and then maybe look to bring someone in for Wolves. Unless, to be fair, mate, if I'm really going to say I'd rather have all my eggs in one basket, maybe it's time to bring bloody fucking
Go on.
1 Point Charlie back.
No, not 1 Point Charlie. Never 1 Point Charlie, lad. No,
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 but
no.
like, I'd have Charlie and Fafana home to Wolves.
Right.
They've got a really nice run on paper. I know they're not going to get like maximum points in the next four, even though it's Wolves, Everton, Brighton, Sheffield United. That's a nice run. And then next week I bring a Wolves player in, and they've got like that's a nice few games.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
What would you be doing? What about an Arsenal defender? Or is that a waste of money?
I think
I have got the money to spend it because I do think I will take Watkins out for Haaland.
I think my only concern with that is obviously you're free hitting him 34, right?
Yeah.
So you want someone who's got a good next three and then like the post after that as well. So maybe Brentford, you know?
Brentford, yeah.
Because I'm looking at that. They got
They
Brighton
have a
this
really
week.
nice run, don't they?
Villa is a little bit difficult, but is what it is. Then Sheffield United, you're free hitting in 34. Everton, Fulham, Bournemouth.
Probably be worth bringing Tony in 33 then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, potentially.
For Haaland.
Fall.
Too fair though, but yeah, because that no in 30. Oh no, it might. Yeah, like you say, potentially it's one of those
Hmm.
really because Burnley have still got a couple of decent games. Um, as do hold on Fulham. Oh no, Fulham's games kind of get a little bit more difficult by that point, so maybe I could do a Muniz for Tony at that point. But yeah, that's looking down in a couple of weeks' time. Um, so are you saying you'd go for a Brentford player
Yeah.
because of their run over an Arsenal player, despite the fact that, of course, they are going, you're going to have to back them against anyone, really?
I am saying it because, yes. Because the main appeal over the next few. This week, yeah, good fixture. They'll probably keep one against Brighton. Villa, probably not. Then the double is where you're free hitting anyway, so it's a bit it's like, yeah. So you're getting two good fixtures at the start. Then post that, they've got Tottenham, Bournemouth, United. North London derby stinks of goals going in. Bournemouth at
Away
home.
as well to
Yeah.
United.
Away at Old Trafford. And if they can bottle the title, it feels like United might have some responsibility in that.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
my only
that's fair
concern with that
enough.
one.
What about Gusto?
Currently got a knock. He went off injured.
Oh, has he? Yeah, no, I think looking at it, I think Brentford does actually make a bit of sense because it's not going to be terribly expensive.
Mhm.
Um, and they do have a decent run. Do you have anyone in mind that you go for? Like, who comes to mind first?
Probably off the top of my head, somebody like Ruslev.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's slim pickings at the back for Brentford at the moment. But it'd
Yeah,
probably be
them.
somebody like
Good.
Ruslev, who
Well, I'll
is.
go for Ajer, who scored that equaliser.
He did, but I don't know how like long Pinnock and all that are out for.
Hmm. God, they've got a lot of defenders. I've just seen.
Yeah, Ruslev plays. Oh, he played 58 minutes there.
Oh, that's a
Ooh.
bit rough.
Oh dear, dear, dear. All right, when's
It's all right. Yeah, you got a clean sheet against United.
Ben Mee's out till the 1st of January.
The
Pinnock's
1st of January.
Pinnock's expected back on the 13th of April. Eee.
Well,
Okay.
who's been like has Ajer been playing instead of Pinnock? Because who's been playing with Collins then and me? Who's
Aj
been taking Me's place?
Ajer.
And who else plays then? Because don't they have three at the back? Is it Zanka?
It looks like Ajer's only recently started playing full 90s since game week 25.
Maybe he's been injured himself.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. It's a
Yeah.
shame, really. It's good fixtures, but do you really dabble on a Brentford defender, or do you just stick to maybe a Tony, a Mbuemo, or at worst case, maybe like a Flecken?
Yeah, I am starting to doubt it a little bit.
Like on paper, if they had like a Stonewall starter, I think there's not much better. How long is Areola out for, or is he? potentially fine.
I read on Sky Sports News that he's going to miss the game this midweek,
Hmm.
but I don't know longer term what it's going to be.
Hmm. Would you say it's got to the point? So I've got, of course, Areola and Neto.
Mm.
Would you say it's got to the point where it's not worth really worrying about the keepers anymore? Just stick with them to the end of the season,
Have you got your
or
bench boost
would you
left?
bring Flecken in potentially?
Have you got your bench boost left?
Yeah, for 37.
Okay. I can't remember if West Ham do or not. Let me have a look.
Oh, double in 37.
Yeah. Let me just take a look. Where is it? Let me just load this up. West Ham have no double in 37, but they have
Brentford.
they have Luton. Brentford don't have a double either.
Okay.
So
And what
probably
about
not
Bournemouth?
Bournemouth don't have a double either.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many like potential doubles are there? Like how many game?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 doubles.
Okay, so it's just over half the teams will be playing
So
anyway.
Chelsea, Tottenham, Manchester City, Brighton, Manchester United, and Newcastle. The teams doubling.
Sound. Oh, 6 teams rather than 6 matches.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. No, fair enough. Some food for thought. Well, I think yeah. I actually think what you say about Haaland is potentially not a terrible shout because he could slap. He more likely could slap, but
Mm.
the same time, I don't think it's at least a stupid decision to take that gamble on him not doing too much against Villa. To be honest, I do think he'll score, but it's just whether it's worth actually benching Muniz or Fofana, and I do quite like the look of both of them at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, could just like go as ballsy as possible and just hold off with is Doherty definitely like not going to play, or do you think there's a chance he will?
I know he limped off, but with it being quite a short turnaround, we're not getting too much team info. If you know what I mean.
With it being such a short turnaround, I do think I need to make that defender switch.
Yeah, I think
I
that
think
would
that makes
probably.
sense.
Mm,
All right, well, I'll have a little think about it, but yeah, if I can muster up the courage to back a Brentford boy, that'd be great. But
mm.
being able to bank on who's going to play is one thing.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have a
Uh,
think. I'll have a think as well and see if there's anyone I can.
well, worst case scenario, Tom, we've got 1 point, Charlie.
No, not 1 point, Charlie. Never 1 point, Charlie.
I mean, to be fair, I could always, as much as a like the first person you'd come to, I assume, if you were suggesting Wolves would be Nori.
It would, but again, he limped off injured.
Oh, did he? Bloody
Yeah.
hell.
So it's like, like every time it's like, Gusto, You know what I mean? I think Gusto would be a really, really good shout.
Just have to see how he does, how he
But
is.
yeah, but
They've
seeing
got
how he
United
does,
anyway, don't they? So it's not a bad fixture to miss out on him
yeah.
or weigh him up.
Because I think that would be the one that I'd go for. I'd do Doherty to Gusto.
Mm.
But again, it could be worth just maybe doing the Haaland one this week and then doing the Gusto one at the weekend.
If I do the Gusto one at the weekend, though, I think I want to do the Wolves one as well at the weekend.
Okay.
And then if I were to play Haaland, who would you drop? You'd want to drop Fofana, wouldn't you?
Probably, yeah. Lad, he missed an
I
open
don't know.
net. He missed an open net.
Yeah, but he scored.
Oh, that's it then. Get him in.
Muniz should have a hat trick, shouldn't he? And he got one.
Well, he got more than Fofana this week, didn't he?
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a little bit harsh.
Right, before we go and move on to my team, we're going to have a read through some of your guys' questions. So if you do have any, do get them in and we will try to answer them throughout the stream. Starting off with the members ones, we've got a turkey in a bush. He's asked, should I get Darwizzy in or Isak? I don't have any players from either team. For me personally, it depends on chip strategy. If you need a player for game week 34 because you're not free hitting, probably Darwin. If you don't and you're free hitting, I'd probably say Isaac.
I get that completely. No, I get that completely. I think also, I think Isak may be slightly better, slightly better and slightly safer option for this week as well because he scored twice. So I'd be surprised if he gets dropped. Um, whereas Darwin Nunez, they're playing Sheffield United. There is that chance that Gakpo could just be thrown in there. So I think that's the one thing I'd be a bit wary of. I also think, as much as I get what you mean about like the blank and stuff, but I actually also feel like Newcastle's fixtures are quite kind to them. And I actually vaguely remember, I'm pretty sure Isak scored that mad goal against Everton, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think he scored it, did he? But just danced around the whole team. So, yeah, I think I'd actually be more inclined to go for Isak if I was getting one of them. But like you say, if you don't have that free hit for the double, then maybe you do have to be wary of that and go for Darwin and it's not a bad backup, is it?
True. Bashir, he's asked how we're doing. We're doing very good, mate. He says, Areola is leaving me no option but to take a -4 for a new goalkeeper. Since my second goalkeeper is Allison, Tom and Jake, who would you recommend I should go for?
Well, I was just talking about Fleckham, wasn't I? I don't think he's a terrible shout
No.
with their fixtures.
Yeah, again, dependent on chip strategy, isn't it? Which is going to be probably like the phrase of the day, to be honest, because that is the point of the season where we're at. If you need a goalkeeper for 34, maybe Raya could be a nice little pickup. Luton, Brighton, then the double. And
What is that?
34. This is what I'm saying. If he's not got the
No,
free hit for
what is
34.
the Arsenal double? Who is it?
Wolves and Chelsea.
So it's not terrible either. You should be able to get yourself at least like 4 to 6 points, you'd think.
Exactly. Maybe a rogue one here. Jordan Pickford.
It's not even rogue though, because they've got quite a lot of clean sheets this season.
Well, they've got the double game week in 34. They've got Brentford, Luton, Sheffield United after that as well. So if you've got the bench boost maybe kicking around for 37 as well.
Yeah, that's when you've got to be looking at chip strategy and maybe not looking at this week in particular, because of course, if you're bringing him in thinking, oh, he's away to Newcastle, you may not want to back him. But when you put it like that, it sounds a lot more enticing, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then other picks, if you are on a 34 free hit, probably would be Petrovic. And I was reading today that Vicario's picked up an injury. Now, I don't know how true that is, and I definitely need to do some more research on that. But if Vicario's picked up an injury, I don't know who their backup goalkeeper is and how much he's priced at. My guess...
Well, they got Fraser Forster, who's injured.
Oh.
And then they've got someone called Austin and someone called Whiteman, and they're both 3.9 mil.
I guess that's a tough pick, though, who takes
Which of those two plays?
Yeah. Eesh.
Let's have a look. Well, 31 people have brought Austin in this week.
Right, those 31 people very clued up.
And 28 people have brought in Whiteman. So
oh, it's close.
It is close. But a lot more people have taken out Whiteman than Austin. 20 more people.
Okay.
But neither of them have ever actually set foot on the football field in the Premier League. So
yeah, there we go.
They'll probably just play Vicario or Fraser Forster with one arm.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, there's some, if you want a goalkeeper that doubles in potentially 35, 36 and 37. So those would be my picks.
No, decent. You'd like to think by then, even if Vicario is out this game, that he should be back for those though.
Yeah. Cool. Bashir has also said he thinks you should bring 8 Nori in as well. So there we go.
Yeah, fair enough. I get it. It's just if you're saying he's limped off, Tom, then it's definitely something to keep an eye on. See what the tweets are saying. When do they play? Do they play tomorrow, or is it Wednesday or Thursday?
Who's this?
Wolves.
I think it's tomorrow.
Burnley. Is it? Yeah. So in that case, you may be fortunate and get a few juicy leaks about the Wolves boys.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Sound. Well, yeah. No, it'd be interesting to hear what the Wolves boys have to say if there's any sneaky leaks.
Mm.
So I'm sure you're well aware. A lot of people's Twitter is full of at the moment.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It is.
Uh, but yeah, I think Aït is a brilliant shout. He's fit. I mean, I did see him against Villa. I don't know if you saw much of the Villa game, but I watched on Match of the Day.
Mm.
He really should have scored. Martinez made a brilliant save, but my word, he should have scored.
Fair enough. Maybe he is a player I need to go and take a look at then.
Mhm.
Right, what
He
other
gets up
questions we
very
got?
high. He scored against Coventry in the cup as well, didn't he? Like he does
We
get
did.
up very high.
We did. Yeah. Valid point. FPL Shane has said, Morning, Tom and Jake. I should have taken Jake's advice and made the Douglas Luiz to Palmer move for a -4. Oh, yeah. I mean,
So I think that's the conversation we had. I was like, go for that -4, and you were like, no, no,
I
no.
don't think I said no. I said I was all for Palmer. I was pro Palmer last week, and you know it.
All right, all right, all right. It's fine. YouTube's got the history. I'm sure we can go back. But no, it's one of those really. Like if you'd gone with it, Shane, it would have gone tits up, and he would have got sent off and missed the pen. So you just got to. It's just part and parcel of this game. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. You just got to back your own guts. At the end of the day, listen to us. Don't listen to us. Just take on board what we say. But at the end of the day, we're only going to like tempt you one way or another. We're not going to make you make that final decision. At the end of the day, you've got to make it yourself. Because Tom may have all the wisest information to give me all the statistics, all the injury doubts and news, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I'm making that decision based on what my gut says.
Well, at the
Uh,
end of the day, you know, Ben Brereton Diaz outscored Palmer this week. So this is the thing. We can give you all this kind of educated, statistical base kind of where you should be picking players from, but in the end, you really, really could just end up with some donkey like Ollie McBurney as your captain and do better than everyone else. If you've got a gut feeling, I think, like Jake said, just go for it.
yeah, but also don't take it too hard that you didn't go for Palmer because I'm sure you'll have that week where it really does work out. I've had plenty of weeks where I've missed out on players that have absolutely slapped. But
Yeah,
then I've also had a few nice weeks, so
it does. It does.
too bad.
Right, Andrew has said, right now I have no goal, no keeper, Turner second string, and Areola out long term. I didn't think it looked a long term injury, but that might be the case. Do you think Kelleher, will make it to game week 34, game week 35 in the Liverpool goal? How far
I
is
don't.
Alisson back from
I'm
being?
not actually too sure. You'll have to have a little look.
Yeah, I thought it was around game week 34, that he was potentially being rumoured to come back.
What does this say? This says unknown injury date on FPL, so I don't actually
Good,
know what.
good. I'm just trying to find like a news article or something. Liverpool.com. Did they seem reliable? Yeah.
That sounds like it'd be the website, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it looks like one of those like crappy local news websites.
Oh,
Uh, Darwin Núñez, Curtis Jones, Robertson, Trent. If it doesn't even have him on here, I've wasted my time. It doesn't have him on here. The article sold me a dream. But I think remembering from an article I read, he should be back around game week 34. So for me personally, I probably wouldn't go for Kelleher. I
and
think
to be fair, I wouldn't even go for him necessarily based on just the fact that Liverpool don't. They're not a banker to keep a clean sheet.
mid to late
They
April. This is from the Standard. So yeah, when does that correlate in FPL? Mid to late April. He could be back for 34, or at least the second game in 34, potentially 35. So you could get lucky and sneak it with Kelleher. Very lucky. Or you could go for Pickford. That would probably be my pick.
I'll say Flecken to be different, but I think the only one about Flecken is I assume Pickford just has that nod on the doubles.
Yeah. That's why. Cool. Thanks for that. I thought you were going to say something else. You just went silent on me.
No, no, sorry. I'm just doing my classic, just swiping through, seeing what head-to-heads people have got that are playing this week.
Cool. He says he's also debating Son to Diaz. Risk factor, yes, but he's third in his mini league of 97. So he's fancying a little bit of a cheeky punt on Diaz. What do you think?
I assume he means Lewis, unless he means Ben Brereton. If he means Ben Brereton, there's no chance I'm going to deny him that opportunity.
I think he means
But,
Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis Diaz, fair enough. I think the only thing is, it's home to Sheffield United, and I can just see Klopp playing Salah, Gakpo, and Elliott or something weird. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but like I can just see them being like rotated a little bit this weekend. Not this weekend, this week. But for the long run, I can't see Diaz missing out on too many minutes. He'll just have to be one of those really where you're playing for a long-term transfer rather than this immediate game week potentially.
Well, it'll be for the double, won't it? It'll be for the double.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, he's bound to play the big games, like of course away to United on Sunday. So like he will be worth it in the long run, I assume. I just wouldn't back him to do any better than Salah did in front of goal on Sunday.
True.
Because he can be a little bit wasteful, but yeah, he's an ever present in that strongest Liverpool side this year.
True. I think with that as well, the interesting thing that you could do is if you're not on a 34 free hit, bring Diaz in for Son this week, get the double because obviously Spurs blank in 34, then bring Son back in for 35, 36, and 37 when they're going to have at least 2 double game weeks.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, that. Not a bad idea at all. But then the question is, are we even thinking of the right Diaz?
We are, mate. We are. They double in 34 as well, so, you know.
Oh, it might be Ollie McBurney season.
Ollie McBurney season on the free hit.
Imagine that. McBurney, Muniz, and
God.
Fofana.
Oh, God. It's crap. It's a crap front line, that. Morris has asked, best Watkins replacement, Muniz, Mateta, or Cunha?
Cunha's just coming back from injury, but they have got a really good set of fixtures.
And a double.
And
a double.
There we go. You're going to have to tell me about these doubles because I'm not clued up about them as well as you are. Who are the other two? Muniz, well, he's in great form, 8 in his last 8, I believe. I don't think their fixtures are quite as nice as the Wolves ones, but they are very hot and cold. They're playing Forest this week, who they beat 5-0 in the reverse. Don't know if that has a part to play in how this one goes. So yeah, no, I think Muniz is a decent shout. And who was the other one that they said?
Mateta.
I just don't like Palace. Like nothing about the club or anything. I just don't like banking on them. I've had a bit of trauma with Jeffrey Schlupp. I mean, I feel like I've kind of been asking for that by saying Jeffrey Schlupp is the person that I went for. But personally, I would say the only people you can really bank on are the likes of Eze and Elise. But even then, it's just that injury doubt. I was actually having a look, and Eze against Bournemouth has scored in 4 of his last 5 games against Bournemouth.
Okay.
So Eze is not a bad shout. But of course, if you're looking for a striker, I'd probably back myself because of who I've got and go for Muniz.
Okay.
Junior may be one just to keep an eye on. Of course, you've got that double, but he can always be someone that you bring in later on or maybe hold on. Just because, of course, he is just coming back from an injury.
Yeah, agree with that. I think I would probably, if we know Cunha is going to play, I would be hot on Cunha. No double for Fulham. And then Crystal Palace, yes, they do have a pretty good double of West Ham and Newcastle in 34. Bournemouth in game week 31. But in 32 and 33, it's City and Liverpool. It's just a bit stinky.
They do like a City strange game. Like those 2 games are shocking on paper for most people. And 9 times out of 10, they will be shite for Palace as well. But they drew up City, didn't they, at the Etihad this year?
They did.
Yeah. They've got like history of turning over both Liverpool and City in recent years. So it's not a write-off, especially now that Roy's gone. Um, so yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the most off-putting thing. The only thing I would maybe say is Mateta that guy,
Mm.
or is it maybe if you like trying to save some space or fill in um, just save a place in midfield for Eze, because I do feel like if he stays fit, he will get some a decent turnaround in the next like 9 games.
Okay, okay. All right, some good food for thought there. We will answer some more questions at the end of the stream, so if you do have any, get them in. But we're going to move on to my team for Game Week 30. I did wildcard this week, and I had a pretty good game week to say the least. Captaincy, yeah, it didn't go quite right. If we'd have gone Palmer, we would have got more points, but I'm still happy with their overall performance from Mohamed Salah. You know, at least he got an attack in return and showed a lot of quality in certain areas of his game. If he's getting that many shots, what can he do against Sheffield United? I'm very happy I brought him in on the wild card. It did pay off. My other top picks, Son, Palmer, yeah, very happy with those. Dominic Solanke was a player I was always going to keep. 16 Premier League goals for him now, so he's just one of those players that is continually picking up points for a very attacking-based Bournemouth side, on penalties as well, so it just makes sense for me. Alexander Isak was my key differential of the week. I was very kind of bullish on him. I was backing him to do extremely well. 2 goals and an assist. I'm pretty happy with that one. I can't complain. I cannot complain. I think it's the first time I've owned Isak this season, and it's gone well, because he's one of those players that seems like you have to catch him at the right time, because he's one of those players that will randomly pick up an injury, or Callum Wilson will come back and then he'll be benched all of a sudden. But even when he's benched, he somehow still manages to pick up like 2 goals off the bench. He just seems like one of those weird players that you just have to catch at the right time, pick up his points, and then get off quickly. But it's working out so far for me, so no complaints on that one. I think a shout-out as well has to go to Connor Bradley. I thought he was excellent at right-back. I think even when Trent does come back from injury, I think Bradley's going to be putting up some definite competition for him.
Definitely. I know he was class. Shame he couldn't finish, to be honest. He had a decent opportunity, didn't he? Skied it.
Yeah.
But he does look really good. Shout out to Lascelles as well. Good lad.
Yeah, great lad. In terms of the defenders, not a good week, was it? Lascelles going off injured, Gusto going off injured, Gabriel on my bench with 6, and Branthwaite with a stinking little 1, to be honest. But yeah, good little week for me, to be honest. Moving on to how the team is lining up for this week. Let me just switch everything over. There you go. This is what we're currently rocking with. We're going to go with Onana in goal. We've currently got Gusto in there, and I think I'm just going to keep it that way unless we get like any negative news. Gabriel against Luton, Bradley against Sheffield United, Salah with the armband, Son, Saka and Palmer in midfield, Solanke, Haaland and Isak up top. On the bench, Petrovic, Garnacho and Branthwaite and Lascelles, but he's basically dead to me now after picking up that ACL. Any changes you'd make there, Jake?
I don't understand why you've got Chelsea players and then Onana.
Right.
Why have you not got Petrovic?
No. Let me explain, right? United have conceded the second most shots in the Premier League, okay?
Right.
So my thought process is I don't think either side's going to keep a clean sheet. Okay? I think the game will finish like 2-2. So my hope is I feel like Onana, because United's kind of lack of defence and the way that they're conceding shots, he's going to pick up more save points than Petrovic.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you've clearly thought about it.
Yeah.
So I can't really doubt the logic behind it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Can't wait for it to be a 0-0.
Yeah, 0-0.
Very not get sent off after 5 minutes.
Yeah, it probably would go that way. I mean, I'd be happy with a 0-0 as long as he don't get sent off.
Yeah. But no, I think that's fine. Yeah, a little bit. Like, I mean, I can't lie that the Arsenal team defence and midfield looks really nice. as much as I got rid of Saka for the long run, I think I'll be all right with that. But I
Mm.
do feel like I'll miss him on this game.
Well,
Uh,
if he plays at all,
why do you think he won't play?
I think he will. But it's just the way he limped off at the end. It's just you know,
He's not gonna have any legs in the summer, is he?
no, no.
No. But yeah, and then front three, absolutely fine with that. Um, yeah, I don't have too many other queries really.
Cool.
I guess like trying to find something to problem. I guess really it's a bit of a lottery of the United Chelsea. If you're thinking it's going to be 2-2, there's more chance that there is a very good chance that Garnacho scores, isn't there?
There is,
So
but
you just
who
got
would I realistically drop him for out of those attackers?
probably Haaland.
It's not. It literally is Haaland, but we all know what
Yeah,
he's capable of on a good day.
yeah. So no, fair enough. I'm with you on that. Salah captain against Sheffield stinks of him not playing though, which
Hmm.
is exactly the same boat as me, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. Are we being naive and looking at Salah against arguably the most leaky defense, whereas and we're just ruling out the likes of Son and Palmer when they do have good records against top sides. Like Son's, I know for a fact that I've been looking. Son's got a good record against West Ham, and I know for a fact that Palmer does pull it up against the big boys.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Uh,
think it's fair. I do think that's a very fair statement. West Ham obviously bottled the game against Newcastle.
West
No,
Ham is shit.
no Areola. If Calvin Phillips is playing, I'd definitely captain Son.
He's been dreadful,
He's
hasn't he?
been awful. He's been so bad.
Let's have a look. Yeah, so in the reverse, it was 2-1 West Ham, actually. So
Oh,
sorry, any West Ham fans who are watching. But yeah, last season, Son scored. Uh, I know he scored like I remember him scoring like a worldie. Yeah, here we go. Scored twice. He scored two in five. No, three in five. Four in seven. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists in 7 games against West Ham. So like and that's with Harry Kane being the talisman as well, and about 3 of them.
hmm.
So now that he's like the big bollocks of Spurs, I do feel like he has lived up to that expectation. Of course, he's not going to be Harry Kane, but he's definitely taken the lead for Spurs, and he is that big game player. So yeah, I actually wouldn't write off me going against Salah because it's one of those with me. I guess I think it helps being a Liverpool fan the fact that I can afford to go for someone else and then
Hmm.
just be happy that Salah did quite well. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, it's just one of them. Especially with it's just a rotation risk. Like it's one of those. Like I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you can't take Salah off or bench him in case in case Salah like has a mood and stuff."
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's a quick turnover, and when are we going to be able to rest him again? Because he's going to have to play United. He's going to then have to play Atlanta. Then he plays again the following weekend. Oh my God, lad! I swear I've just watched the people watching go from 19 to 9.
That it's
What have
because
I said?
you were making daft points. They went get out of here.
What the hell did I say? But yeah, no, I think there is a very good chance of Salah not playing the full 90 minutes. Well,
I,
the full 60 minutes, let alone the 90.
I think though the thing is you could see him easily having a half of football against Sheffield United and still coming away with maybe 2 attacking returns.
It depends. The only thing I'd also say is the fact that now that we're about this game actually means something and it's not nothing. We're making life difficult for ourselves. Like that Brighton game when we went 2-1 up, we were so leaky and scared.
Mm.
And I just feel like it's not going to be like a walk in the park 4-0 result for Liverpool, and that's Liverpool's doing rather than Sheffield's, because it does get to the fans and stuff, as it would for anyone, maybe Bar City. Like in that like final title running when you're top of the league and you've got that slight advantage, any game is difficult.
Mm.
Um, Not helped with the fact that Klopp is guaranteed to want to rotate against Sheffield United. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see though. Maybe all of this is absolute bollocks and it won't play out the same way I've anticipated. But just some food for thought once again.
Yeah, all right. In terms of Klopp's kind of maybe mentality, do you think maybe he thinks like he can win the league? And maybe he's kind of seeing the league as more important than the Europa League?
I think he definitely sees the league more importantly than the Europa League, but I think he thinks he can win both.
Okay.
I think he thought he could win all three. I think he thought he could win the FA Cup as well. I don't think it was down to him. I mean, don't get me wrong, the way in which like Liverpool bottled a couple of leads against United, like that was poor. But like I don't think he fielded a weak side against United. He went there to win, and I think he'll do the same again against Atlanta. He'll hopefully, I assume he'll want to get a decent first leg win so that he can maybe rotate and rest a little bit. And as with no disrespect to Sheffield United, it's just part and parcel of the game for sides at the top to maybe rotate when it gets a little bit congested with fixtures against those at the bottom. Um, Hence why those at the bottom may even actually sneak a result or cause them, like push them, give them a bit of a game and stuff. So I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm well aware that Sheffield might be up for it as well. They may actually give Liverpool a game, or the big men that don't start may have to come on or whatever. Like it's just the way the game works towards this end of the season. But that being said, who knows? Maybe he will play because Salah is a bit of a fitness beast. I know he's had that injury in January, like with the AFCON, but that was the first time I've seen him injured for more than like 3 weeks for a good while.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done talking.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Lovely. That's usually how conversations end on these broadcasts. I'm done talking. We have had some questions before we move on to our final section. Bashir has said, Tom, your team is fit enough to roll. And he says, Son is always finding a way to return against West Ham. Louise has said, best time to wildcard for a bench boost 37. For me personally, depends if you've got your free hit left. If you've got the free hit left, this week would probably be a very good week to wildcard. Then free hit. Then obviously you can use your rest of your transfers towards 37, and the wildcard pretty much will set you up for 37. But if you've not got that free hit, dead end into 34, then wildcard in 35. There we go. Anything to add on that one, Jake?
No, completely agree. I'm kind of taking your advice on it, to be honest, because I'm still a little bit iffy as to who has what doubles and stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Another member's question has flew in from a turkey in a bush. He said, Captain Havertz, question mark?
He did score in the reverse, I believe. It was 4-3, I seem to recall.
Yeah, it was quite a high-scoring game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's 4-3. Yeah, he did score. Got a goal. Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, and Rice. Saka only got an assist, so hopefully he only gets an assist this time. But no, I'm not against Havertz being the captain at all. I think the only thing I would argue is the fact that he's not a conventional striker, and there are those occasions where he does just drift through a game. Like, I don't think he was really there. Sorry if I'm being disrespectful, but I feel like he wasn't too much more of an impact than Haaland was. Like, and I know it was a cagey game and stuff, but it's just not his. I don't think he's that out and out striker. So I'm not sure I'd fully bank on him to do things, but I would back him to play the full 90. He does seem to be quite relied upon by Arteta at the moment, and it's against Luton, so anyone can pop up with a goal, I'm sure. And of course, like I said, scored in the reverse. He's had some kind of decent form, I'd say, in front of goal in the past few weeks. Like, I do feel like he has been on the score sheet more often than not, but consistency is not something I would say he has in front of goal. I just think he's in a decent bit of form. I think that's supported by the fact that he's played so much. He'll either play in midfield or up front. So yeah, I mean, it's one of. I think it's one of those really where you've got to go with your gut. If you're feeling the need to ask whether Havertz is a worthy captaincy choice, you've clearly got something tickling your gut. And so yeah, I'm not against it if that's what you want to go for. I probably would personally, if I was to put the two on the line there, I'd probably say Son is someone I'd be more inclined to go for if I wasn't going to go for Salah.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I don't mind Havertz. Probably go for Saka though, actually, over Havertz, but that's just me.
Fair enough. He says, also, what do you think about my challenge tactic? And I found it earlier in the chat. He says, by the way, you can get an early kickoff player on the bench, and if they do well, get an injured player in your starting 11, so you get the bench player off the bench, if that makes sense.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how challenge works. I think there's like
Where's this?
subs. There's like subs and stuff rules.
You can get early kickoff players on the bench. They do well. Turkey in the bush, right? Let's have a look. Is
Jake's going to investigate. I'll let Jake investigate, and I'll
he?
keep talking.
What's his name? Is he in this group? Or is he in Soggy Biscuit?
Yeah, he'll be in Soggy Biscuit. He'll be in the Soggy
Is it
Biscuit League.
Ergy time? I don't know. There's Gordon.
Oh, you can make a change mid-game week, he said.
So I assume he's benched Gordon maybe instead of Haaland, and then he's seen
Yeah.
Gordon's done well, so he's brought him in for Haaland, does he?
Yep. That'd be my guess.
Okay. Oh, so I could have actually, in hindsight, brought in Gibbs White, is what he's suggesting.
Yeah.
Or is it only the early kickoff?
I think it's only the early kickoff, I think. I'm confused. I need to go and have a look and dissect this for myself.
Captain Havertz. Also, yeah. No, it's had once. Has had one shot saved all season. That's a class stat. Because he has scored a few.
Yeah, he has.
Keeper's only saved one.
Clearly.
You can make a change each week. Oh. So I could go on here. Can I bring him in now?
No, surely not. Not now.
Let's have a look. I don't understand, mate. I really don't understand.
We'll figure it out. We'll have a look after this stream. We'll figure it out together.
Sound.
All right, let's finish it up. Let's take a look at some predicted points for this game week. Have a look at some of the players, maybe some that you want to bring in, maybe some captains. I can already see Havertz is on this list as well. Salah leading the way with 9.5 predicted points, so probably is the safest captain this week, and I don't think you can really argue against that, can you, Jake?
Which?
That Salah is the best captain for this week. Come on, you. Get your head in the game.
Yeah, he is. He is. But looking at it and talking about it, I'm starting to talk myself into Son.
Okay. Well, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this list for predicted points for this week.
Spurs, but I think Spurs West Ham could go all types of ways. Could be a boring 0-0, could be a goal. There have been some decent games there, and like I say, he's got a good goal and assist record against West Ham in recent years. And Salah, I just don't fancy Salah to play the full game. Like you say, though, he could get a hat trick at half time, and then you sound.
Yeah, whip him off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I am tempted more by Son the more I speak about it. But I do think conventionally Salah is the right pick to go for.
Okay. Are you surprised to see Palmer this high up on the predicted points?
Not really, because he's on penalties, and I do feel like everything that goes to Chelsea goes through him, and they do create a lot of opportunities. So now I can understand why that's there. And United do quite like. Didn't you say they can see quite a few shots?
Second most shots conceded in the league.
Well, and that would make sense why Palmer's so high. I'm surprised Odegaard's second though.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. I thought Saka would have been a little bit higher, but maybe due to his potential little bit of doubt around his injury. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Salah 9.5, he's clear, isn't he?
He's really clear, he is indeed.
Maybe I'm just being a bit naive and I should just stick to
I think
Ye
so.
old faithful.
I think so. Stick with the pack. That'd be my advice this week.
Well, if I stick with the pack, like 1 point Charlie's coming back.
Oh no, no, not 1 point Charlie. Never 1 point Charlie.
Where's Craig Dawson?
Injured. Otherwise, I'd have been suggesting him.
You'd have had him in your own team.
Yeah, I would have had him in. Right, we are going to finish up in a few minutes. So if anyone's got any final questions, do get them in the chat. But I'm going to ask Jake the most important question of the week for this midweek round. Jake, who is going to be the highest scoring game? Which one are you going for?
I'm going to go for. I was going to go for a Sheffield United one, but I actually don't think it will because it's Liverpool. If it was anyone else, it'd probably be quite a big goal game. But I actually think they'll be a little bit closer than people think.
Okay.
I'm going to go for West Ham Spurs. I've said it. I've said that it can go either way. And if I'm tempted by some, it's because I feel like there's going to be goals. So yeah, I'm going to go West Ham Spurs.
All right. Okay. I'm going to go with Bournemouth versus
Wolves.
Palace.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was tempted with Burnley versus Wolves, but then I went Bournemouth versus Palace.
Oh, lad, let me tease you with this, though, maybe to change your mind.
Go on.
The last few games, this is the last few head-to-heads for Wolves and Burnley.
Yeah.
1-0 Wolves,
Oh.
1-0 Burnley,
Oh.
0-0,
Oh. Go on.
2-1 Burnley,
Oh.
1-1,
Yeah.
1-1,
Yeah.
2-0,
Yeah.
1-1, 2-1, 2-0. There was a 4-0 in there, but that didn't kind of match my
Okay.
match my selling technique, so I just ignored that one. But yeah, quite that bar the 4-0 anomaly.
Yeah.
3 goals is the maximum that ever has been scored in Premier League history.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Meanwhile, it seems. Oh, mate, in 2019, mate, there was a 5-3 to Crystal Palace, you know?
A 5-3 to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, against Bournemouth.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Since then, it's only ever been 2-0 or 1-0.
Okay. Okay. All right. A Turkey in the Bush is how to join the Soggy Biscuit League. Let me get the code for you guys. We have got the Fantasy Challenge League, so I will get the code for that one.
I think I get what he's saying now. I think if someone had done well in the early kickoff, you can then put one of your players in your team on the bench for someone that's definitely not going to play that's on your bench.
Okay.
So that say if he had Gordon first sub, he could put Haaland second sub for whoever he's got on his bench, but making sure that he knows that guy's not going to play. So of course Gordon comes in automatically then.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you reckon you posted that into the chat enough?
Well, just giving them variety, really. They can use the code. They can use the link. You know what I mean? A little bit choice.
Yeah, 3 of each.
Exactly. We have had a question come in. Would you guys pick Bradley on a wild card for 31?
You told me. You told me, lad.
I think with Trent being back in the next few weeks, I'd be sceptical of it. I don't think he's going to go straight back in as Trent, but I am a little bit sceptical of it, you know.
Well, there are the players that we've suggested already. There's the likes of a Wolves defender to keep an eye on, and potentially some Everton defenders because of the doubles like Branthwaite. So there's money being saved there. Maybe your Bradley defender choice could be in your wild card. Instead of Bradley, you could have Branthwaite. You could have Nori if he's injured. You could have even just go. What's his bloody name? Kilman, just for an example. And then you can, which means you've saved a little bit of money, which means maybe you could afford to go for Van Dijk.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I'm
right.
not black screen. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm back.
No,
No, I'm gone.
You're back. Don't worry. Oh, okay. Someone's having technical issues. I think we're going to leave it there, though, guys. Doesn't seem like we've got any other questions, and we've actually been going for 1 hour and 10 minutes. I didn't think it was that long. Didn't think it was going to be that long. I will be live for the deadline tomorrow at 4:30. So if you do have any questions or want your team reviewing, do come along to that one tomorrow, live on YouTube and on TikTok as always. But yeah, thank you from me, and I'm guessing a thank you from you, Jake.
Yeah, thanks very much. See you on Friday.
Yeah, Friday will be the next preview stream for Game Week 32. But good luck this game week, guys, and thank you for all your support in the chat.